So Roxanne had requested a little hip work. So we'll do a few warm-ups first, and then we'll be down on the mat for some hip things. So come into mountain pose, sitting bones down, ribs in and up, shoulders relaxing, shoulder blades toward your waist, and reach the crown up to the ceiling. Spread out through your toes, just relax your arms. Breathe as deeply as you can, if you can ignore the smoke, and focus inward. And then as you inhale, bring your arms to shoulder level. Exhale, hands to your heart. Stretch out to the front, keeping your shoulders down. And exhale, hands behind you, fingertips clasped, hands toward the floor, chest to the ceiling. Stretch your head back and pivot at your hips, exhaling into the forward bend. So just relax, coming over as far as you want this morning, or whenever time it is. And let your hands come up toward the ceiling. Bend your knees a little bit or straighten them and stretch the back of your hamstrings. And then chin in and wind your waist slowly up. Lift your heart, shoulders down, head back into that upper body back bend. So keep lengthening, spread your toes, no gripping. And just allow your whole body to get a good stretch. And then inhaling, come up. Exhale, release your arms. Take a moment feeling your spine. And again, arms up, stretching out, shoulders down, hands to your heart, elbows a little back, stretch forward, and then exhale the hands behind you, clasping the opposite way. Lift your heart, stretch your spine, breathe in, and as you exhale, pivot over. So just coming into that forward bend, let your hands come up and your head down. Tuck in your chin, move your head around, get the stretch through your neck. And then inhaling, work your way slowly up and heart toward the ceiling, shoulders down, head back. And again, upper body back bend, lengthening through your whole spine. Inhaling, come up. Release your arms. Take a moment just feeling your spine as we get ready for our lateral stretch for the sides. Arms out, palms toward the ceiling, over your shoulders. Go ahead, hands past each other, turned around and close. Bring your arms close to your ears as much as you can. Shoulders down, sitting bones down. Stretch your head up and exhale without twisting. Letting that side get a good stretch through the ribs. Push the foot you're leaning away from down for a little extra lengthening and relax. And then inhaling, come to the center, keep your shoulders down and switch the other hand in front. And again, arms by your ears as much as possible as you stretch and breathe. And again, lengthening through the whole side, press the foot down and hands and head away. And again, feel the ribs expand. And then inhale, coming back up. Exhale, release your arms. Feel the sides open a little bit more. And remember, we want the space in the vertebrae for our twist. So go ahead and base of the skull and base of the skull and base of the spine, stretch apart. Arms out, palms up, arms over your shoulders, elbows clasped. And again, keep the shoulder blades down, sitting bones down, stretch up through the top of your head, and twist either direction. Knees a little bent, stretch, and pivot over, exhale. So just relax as you come into that forward bend. Lift your hips a little bit. Bend your knees if you need to. Just relax. Keep the weight on both feet evenly. And then inhaling, work your way up. Look toward the ceiling. Pull your elbows back. And lift your heart maybe a little higher, making sure that low back isn't over. And then inhale to the top. Exhale to the center, switch your arms, keep those shoulders down. Stretch your head and sitting bones apart, and exhale. Twist. Again, lengthen breathing in, pivot over as you exhale, and again, just deepen as much or as little as your body likes. Take a moment there, make sure your feet are evenly sinking, and then inhale, working your way up, staying in your twist, and then coming into that heart opening upper body back. Shoulders back and down. And then inhaling, come up. Exhale around to the center. Arms up. Let's swan dive. So arms shoulder level, palms down. Pivot at your hips. Lead with your chest and chin. Tuck the chin back in a little bit. And stretch your hips and sitting bones away from each other, parallel to the floor or wherever you can be. And then just drop into ragdoll and hang. Let that back get a good stretch all along the length of your spine. Chin in toward your chest, head toward your legs. You can pull in even further with your arms behind your legs if you like. And then release your arms. Let them hang. And just wind your way slowly back to sleep. Shoulders back and down. Take a moment, just feeling all that energy along your spine. Then we're going to warm up the hips a little bit. So step your feet together. Bend your knees towards your toes, not beyond. Hands above your knees, but not pushing in, just a little bit of positioning. And we're going to do circles with the knees, working that hip and lower back, just gently. So nice little circles. All the way around. Feeling the feet working as well as the knees and the legs and the hips and the lower back a little bit also. And then stop and go the opposite direction. Get the whole body working and testing how both sides are doing this morning. And again, just relax through the whole body as you notice what's going on, because personal practice, inward focus, mindfulness are yoga. And then stopping and coming back up into hip width apart mountain pose. Just feel a little bit more circulation through that hip, pelvis, and lower back area. And then either clasp your hands behind you or press into prayer position between your shoulder blades. And we're going to bend the knees and circle those hips a little bit bigger. So the only reason your hands or elbows are clasped is to keep those shoulders as even as you can while you do that hip work, getting that lower body pelvis doing most of the action. And then stop again and go the other direction. And again, just as deep or not as you want, with a slight bend to your knees as you go through that range of motion. And then when it feels like you got a good circulation going through that lower back, just release back up into that. So feel all that energy through the hips and pelvis, and we'll activate it a little bit more. So feet angle a little bit out, bend your knees toward your toes again, not beyond. We don't want to overwork the knees. Hands above your knees, again, don't push, just position. And sitting bones go back as your chest comes forward, so a nice little lower back bend, pelvic tilt. And then sinking the sitting bones forward and around in your spine, looking down between your feet, rolling your shoulders maybe a little bit forward too. So again, inhale, chest forward, hips, sitting bones back. And exhaling, tucking forward, rounding, and just getting that pelvic motion going. A little bit of tilting forward and back. Following your breath, either fast or slow, moving whatever range of motion works for your body. Notice that your core is getting a little bit of work as you go into that forward position, and your lower back gets a little bit more work as you go into that bendy part of the motion. So just a couple more times. Feeling your spine, feeling your hips and pelvis, noticing how that body is working for you today. And then the next time you're forward, just come on up and into mountain pose. Take a moment just feeling a little bit more circulation for your whole spine maybe, as well as your hips, pelvis. And then just stretch up and we're going to the floor. So come on down into child's pose for our transition. Hips toward your heels, hands next to your feet, forehead to the floor, and down. Make any adjustments you need. Notice you're getting a nice roundedness through that lower back if you keep those knees together especially. And then as you inhale, sit up and bring your legs out in front. So sitting bones connect, feet pressing away, and round toward the ceiling. Keep your shoulders relaxed, shoulder blades down toward your waist, ribs in toward your spine and up. And we'll do just a little bit more rotator warm up because we're going to get a little intense. So bring one foot up to your opposite thigh and let that knee come down. Remember, you want to be on the front of the sitting bones. So if you want to put a little padding behind, so you raise the sitting bones slightly and tip forward, that works. Or you can take this extended to the front leg over to the side, knee and toes still up, and that gives you that also slight pelvic tilt to the front, making it a little easier to get that knee down. So choose your position, just relax. You can put your hand or hands on the knee for weight, but not pressure, and just let that knee get a little bit closer, getting that hip rotator just gently warm. And then we're going to warm it a little bit more. So foot up and hand on your knee, work it back and forth, or pull it in closer with your arms wrapped around, which is more intense on that hip area. So do what's right for you. Don't go too far. If that feels like that rotator is working easily and you want a little bit more intensity, up with the foot or in with the leg, or both, to make it a little bit more noticeable. And then exhaling, release that leg. And of course, notice the difference. So we're going to warm up the other one, bring that opposite foot up. And again, that pelvic tilt, getting those sitting bones slightly behind you, knee to the front of the sitting bones, or make your adjustments the other way as well. Leg to the side. Kneecap toes up on that front leg still. This knee coming down as much as it wants. And again, hands there or not, your choice. Just let that knee do the work. Gravity pulling it down toward the floor a little bit more when it needs to, because your body is ready. But don't force it. Never force it. And remember, the more you relax the muscles, the more it's going to allow your knee to do what it wants to do. And then again, bringing the foot and the knee up into your hands or arms, work it back and forth, get that rotator warmed up. So the fluid in it needs to be warm for it to work effectively. So as high or as close or as not high or close as you want it to be, just gently making sure that that hip is working okay and that there's not a lot of intensity as you do that. And again, release. So things should be warmed up in the pelvis. We'll do one more to just make sure things are circuiting well. So we're going to just cross your legs. And then, of course, for creatures of habit, we do that the same every time. So cross them the opposite way. And then move your sitting bones back a little into the front of the sitting bones as always. And then keeping the focus on that hip crease at the top of the thigh where your legs are bending. We're going to pivot just a little bit forward. You can put your hands on your knees if that helps to keep your focus. And then tuck your chin in and your forehead slightly toward the floor. And then keeping the focus through the hips, pelvis, roll over to the side. And then keep rolling around to the back, lifting your heart, but keep your awareness in that pelvis area. And then over to the other side and back to the front. So a circle. And just using your whole body as much or as little as it wants to just keep noticing how that pelvic area is working. If it makes it easier just to keep your chin toward your chest at the back to keep the focus in your pelvis, you can do that as well. So go ahead and work your body however into that range of motion feels right. Just getting that circle going through the hips. And then as you come to the front, pause and reverse your direction because we like doing things evenly on both sides. So either chest up at the back or chin still towards your chest and a little forward roundedness, whatever is working best for your body. And then after a few times circling that direction once again, when you come to the front, just inhale, sitting back up, and release your legs back out into staff at the front. So again, just feel the motion, energy flowing through that hip pelvis area. And we're going to get a little bit more intense. So bend your right knee and put your right heel next to your left hip. So the knee is kind of straight out in front. And again, you may need to get some padding if that's going to help you. And then we're going to put the left knee on top of the right knee as much as you can, and that left heel near your right hip. Yeah, this is cow's head legs. It's a little bit intense. So as much as possible, kind of keep those feet across from each other. They may be further out than your hips. They're kind of even. And your knees probably aren't one right on top of the other unless you're super flexible through those hips. I've seen one person do that, but don't even try if it's not going there. It's perfectly okay wherever you are because all bodies are different. And in order to forget the hips and pelvis, we're going to work the arms as well. So we got the left knee on top. So bring your right arm out, palm toward the ceiling, over your shoulder. Bend the elbow, bring your hand into the middle of your back, and then take your other hand and pull your elbow in, but push your head back into that arm as well so that you're not pushing your head forward. And then take your left hand, wrap it around, and see if you can clasp your hands behind you. So if you do, that's fine. Just leave it there and kind of pull the elbows in toward your spine line. And if the hands don't meet, that's okay too. Just hold your shirt or work them closer that way. Or if you have a strap that you can put in your upper hand, you can grab it with your lower hand and kind of work them closer along that strap as well. So head stays back into your upper arm, and that lower elbow is pulling in and pushing down while that upper elbow is pushing up. And as you're doing all that upper body work, you're forgetting your hips, and you're probably relaxing a little bit more, getting your sitting bones maybe a little bit more evenly toward the floor. Just kind of notice that. Take a breath. Ribs in and up, lengthen through the top of your head. And then exhaling, unwind your arms. Feel your upper body again. Oh yeah, that kind of calls attention to your lower body is still in that torture cow pose. Go ahead and release those as well. I don't know why they call it cow's head or cow's face pose, but yeah, that's what they call it. Okay, feel your hips. Notice that we only did it on one side. Yeah, have to do the other. So this time we're going to bend the left leg first, knee out to the front, heel near your hip-ish, and right knee on top. And again, as much into that intensity as is okay for your body. So one hip may be a little bit up as you start, but that's okay. It'll come down a little bit more if you noticed when we do the upper body part. So go ahead and keep sinking into those sitting bones as much as you want, arranging those feet as much straight across from each other, whether it's a little further out or not. It doesn't matter. It's your body. Honor it. And again, arm, left arm, palm toward the ceiling, and arm over your shoulder. Shoulder blades do what? They stay down. And then bend your elbow, hand in as much to the middle of your back as you can, and then push that elbow in maybe a little bit more with your hand. It's sliding that hand straight down your spine, and then wrap the arm around, see if you clasp on this side. So kind of notice, some people clasp one side and not the other. Some people never clasp, and some people do it easily. It's just what your shoulders will tolerate. Keep that head pushing back. You don't want to be rounding forward. You want your spine still nice and straight. And you want to be focusing on what the arms are doing. So elbow in and up, and the other elbow down and in. And head pushing back, spine lengthening up through the crown. Oh, and that kind of relaxes those hips maybe a little bit more as you forget about them. So just keep breathing, ribs in and up, spine long, elbows working toward the spine direction, and stretching away from each other as much as your position allows. Again, breathing, relaxing, letting the position happen, not forcing it, and then releasing those upper arms, letting your shoulders relax, feeling all that upper body circulation. Just kind of noticing how much that side that was maybe a little bit higher sank back down, and those sitting bones are more connected. And then again, release those legs back to the center. Take a moment and just feel all that nice hip pelvic area. And we're going to go up into table position just briefly. So go ahead and bring your hands to the mat, under your shoulders, knees under your hips. So we're going to do a little frog position here. So bring your knees to the sides of the mat, or a little bit wider if you don't have a mat. And your toes also to the side of the mat, and then flex your feet behind you. And sink your hips back a little bit toward your heels, and slide your hands forward, bringing your forearms down and your elbows to the floor. And you're the frog. We're going to swim in the water. So just bring your chest and chin forward toward your thumbs. Hips will be a little bit high off the floor, but keep that pelvis as low as it wants to be. And if it's a little bit intense in your knees, you can, of course, put some padding under your knees as you shift back and forth. So we're going to shift back, hips toward the heels, and then slide forward, keeping the hips and pelvis low, bringing the chest and chin up toward the hands, and then sliding again, hips back toward the heels. And just a few times through your range of motion, breathing, just releasing any tension, feeling whatever you're feeling, as much or as little as your body wants. And then the next time your hips are back, just bring your hands back under your shoulders, bring your knees in, and come back up to table position. So as you're there, we're going to go into one more hip work position. So keeping your hands shoulder width apart, we're going to slide that right knee between your hands. And then we're going to pull that knee over toward the side of the mat. So the right knee goes toward the right side of the mat, or just slightly outside your hand if you're not using the mat. And then slide the left leg back further so you're getting a little stretch on that hip flexor behind you on your left leg. And your hip rotator that we've been working on warming up is working on this right knee bend. Now, if that's feeling okay, you can bring your heel further up towards your hand. You can put your hand behind the heel to do that if you need a little bit of work and help to do that. And just sink your hips evenly toward the floor. So pigeon pose, it's a little intense for most people. You can put padding wherever you need to if you want to. Or you can make it a little easier by, again, sliding those hands forward, forearms on the floor, and bringing your upper body slightly toward the floor. Chest and chin forward, and then tuck your chin back in and let the back of your body just get a good stretch. Don't put your head all the way down to the mat. That overworks the hip-knee combination and can be a little bit too much for most people. So just stay here, letting those hips evenly sink toward the floor. So they won't probably make it anywhere near the floor. That's okay. So just allow your body to do that as relaxed as you can. And then to release, just bring your hands back up. Chest and chin forward, maybe a little bit of upper body back bend, getting a little bit more intensity into that pigeon pose if you want to, but don't do it if that's already coming. And then press into your hands, slide that right knee back and the left knee up, and then sink your hips back onto your heels, forehead down in extended child's pose. Just relaxing through the hips. Notice that one side is probably feeling more intensity than the other, so what are we going to do? Balance it, yes. So again, come on up into table position for your start position, and take your left knee between the hands, and then bring the left knee over to the left, and slide your right leg back, coming into your pigeon. So that heel can be near your hips as you're doing that, or you can slide that heel further up and as much as parallel to the body or the mat with your shin, if that works for your body. But remember, personal practice, do what's right for you. A lot of people keep that heel in right above the pelvis if that's where your body wants to. So again, just sink the hip bones evenly. And chest and chin forward a little bit, and then chin tucking back in. Stay there, or get that little bit of release, sliding those elbows down, hands forward, forearms on the floor. So find your position, relax both hips evenly toward the floor, let it sink, sink, sink. If that starts to get your body coming down into that heel, you can keep moving it forward as your body relaxes into the position. It's always up to you how far you go. So again, chest and chin a little forward, chin tucking back in, getting that neck, getting a good stretch, lengthening, moving the chest forward, the shoulder blades toward your waist, coming as far toward the floor as you want, but not all the way. Don't overdo it. And again, if you're all down, you want to rotate the face forward as you bring your hands back under your shoulders. And again, lengthening through the spine, through the back of the neck, crown up, and maybe a little bit back. Chest, definitely heart forward and up. Shoulders and shoulder blades toward your waist. Hips sinking toward the floor as easy. And this time we're going to release slightly differently. We could have done it differently the first time as well, but we want some variety. So go ahead and slide off to the side, bring that leg around, and see if you can bring the shins one on top of the other so that you're in what's called stacked leg position. So as you're in that position, the more you can get your heels and your knees even, the more intense it is. So feel free to do that if that works for your body. I have very long thighs and not as long in my lower legs. So I find that to be more challenging than I find other positions to be. But you may find that it works for your body. So do what's right for you. It's called stacked logs position. And then we're just going to bring the chest forward and chin toward the floor. Lengthen out through your spine. Keep both sitting bones sitting or pressing back and down toward the floor. And again, just breathe. Tuck in your chin, sit back up, and come into that straight position. And then just release your legs out to the front, coming back into staff position. Feel the hips and pelvis all nice and warmed up. And we're going to roll onto our backs and get ready for our twist. So go ahead and release the body onto the surface beneath you. Just relaxing, sitting bones slightly towards your heels, arms out to T position, palms up. We're going to do our bent knee chiropractic twist, which is a little bit more intense through that hip pelvis area. So sitting bones toward your heels, bend your right leg, and put your right foot on your left thigh. And remember, we're rolling all the way onto your left side as we do this one. So knee down to the floor, head stays on the floor. Pad under it if you need to for your neck. Hands together in front of you on the floor, knee all the way down. Hold your left hand on your knee. Bring your right hand to the ceiling. Look up at it. And then right at shoulder level, move the back of your hand down toward the floor. It may not get there, that's okay. It depends on how your spine wants to work into that twist in your body. The more you keep the knees on the floor, the more you're going to feel that hip and lower back area in the twist. So if you want less intensity, then don't keep the knee quite so attached to the floor. But the more you keep it down, the more you'll feel that any adjustments in that lower back. Shoulder coming toward the floor, hand coming toward the floor for your middle back. Let it go as far as it wants, but don't force it. And of course, turning your head to look behind you toward that arm, neck, and shoulder twist. Always do what's right for your spine in the twist, honoring your body if it's got any issues, particularly lower back or neck and shoulder areas. Take a breath. Just let that hand come further toward the floor or shoulder further toward the floor if your hand is all the way down. Maximize or minimize. Remember, twists are personal practice. Do what's right for you. And when you're ready to release, just let go of your leg or knee. Roll onto your back, straighten it out, and slide that foot all the way near the other. Take a moment, feeling your spine, and getting ready for our other side twist. So again, sitting bones slightly toward your heels, right knee bending, left knee bending, foot on the right. This time we roll all the way to the right side, hands together on the floor, head down, knee to the floor. Right hand on the knee, left arm up toward the ceiling, roll and look up at that hand, moving your whole body into the twist as you become ready. Again, letting that arm just lower you as your body is willing to do. Knee staying on the floor for that hip and lower back. Arm moving toward the floor, middle back. Shoulder toward the floor if your hand is all the way down. Just focus where you need to. And of course, turning your head only as much as your neck and shoulder. Take a breath. Exhaling, releasing tension, just letting your twist happen as much or as little as your body needs. And as always, just exhale any tension, relaxing into the twist, not forcing anything. Deep breaths, just releasing and relaxing. And hold these longer when you practice at home if you want to. But for now, it's time for our relaxation. So go ahead and let go of your knee, roll onto your back, and feet near each other. Hands, palms up slightly away from your hips, shoulders and shoulder blades down, heart, chest opening and expanding. And relax your jaw, your face, your hips and torso, and your whole body. And just let your body sink deeper into that surface beneath you, feeling all that pelvic energy, just relaxing through the sacrum, through the belly, through the torso. And as you breathe and relax, just allow your body to grow heavy. Let your body sink deeper into that earth embrace. And let your body go. Just focus your breath wherever it needs to release any tension. And exhale the tension. Relaxing each breath a little bit more. And as your body relaxes, just let thoughts of your body go from your mind. As those thoughts dismiss, other thoughts will come to you. Let those thoughts go as well. Remember, It's the job of your mind to keep producing thoughts. It's your choice whether you pay attention. You let the thoughts go, drifting away as easily as your breath. Unneeded, unnoticed. Exhale and release. And as your mind drifts more easily, just let your breath be full and deep. Let your body sink further, growing heavy, deepening its earth embrace. And let your thoughts drift more freely, floating away. And just release your attention from your body and from your mind. And focus your attention inward. Find that peace within. Grow the peace in your body, in your mind, filling it just completely with peace. And feel free to keep relaxing. If you've got more time, just do some relaxing today. Begin breathing more deeply, drawing energy and awareness back to the moment, to the room, to your body. As you breathe more deeply and stretch more fully, when you're ready for your final yoga hug of appreciation, press your hips toward your heels, draw your knees toward your heart. Wrap your arms around for a good appreciative yoga hug. And just let your body know you appreciate its work today in yoga and every day, all day. And after your hug and appreciation, feet to the floor or rolling to the side, just sit back up and get ready for the rest of your day.